Did you see this? Don Lemon, I've never watched Don Lemon. I watched this clip of Don Lemon. Don Lemon says Nikki Haley isn't in her prime as a politician because she's not in her 20s, 30s, or 40s. She's only 51. Well, Biden's 80. This may be the dumbest thing ever said on CNN. And he used Google at his source. But if you go to Google, Google actually goes into the 50s. And here's the deal with Don Lemon. Don Lemon, he says, I don't believe this. But he puts it out there because he's doing that old deal where he's giving himself cover for saying an idiotic thing. Let's hear from Don Lemon.
This whole talk about age makes me uncomfortable. I think it's the wrong road to go down. She says people, politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s. I don't necessarily.
40s. Oh, I got another.
I'm not saying
decade.
I agree with that. So I think she has to be careful about saying that politicians aren't in their prime.
We need to qualify. Are you talking about prime for like childbearing, or are you talking about prime for being president?
What the facts are. Google it. Everybody at home. When is a woman in her prime? It says 20s, 30s, and 40s. And I'm just saying Nikki Haley should be careful about saying that politicians are not in their prime and they need to be in their prime when they serve, because she wouldn't be in her prime according to
Google
or whatever it is.
Don Lemon's an idiot. And I'm not even talking about this. You could tell he's just a little batch. You could tell he's just an angry guy. And today he wasn't even on his show. If I'm these women, and he's always yelling at people according to whatever, he's just a little pain in the ass. I mean, honest to God, you can just tell what he's doing here. He's doing that passive-aggressive thing where he's saying, hey, look, I'm not saying it. I don't agree with it. But here it is. That's just a little batch move. That's all that is. That's just a little batch move. That's just a little move by him to give himself cover, but he wants this out. Look, ratings for his show stink, and I understand why. This man would appeal to nobody. The only person he would appeal to would be a politician that he is on the right. Look at this. There's nobody this man would appeal to, particularly when you're on a show in the morning, on a news show, and you're being a passive-aggressive little batch. That's all he's being. He knows he's trying to get this out there to smear Nikki Haley, which, the two things you do is you do it like this, or you make fun, which these idiots have already done, of Nikki Haley changing her name, which if you do a little research, you'll find that's not really true. But the truth of the matter is he's just being a little passive-aggressive batch here. So today, Lemon wasn't on his show. Now, I don't know what that means. If I were CNN, look, CNN is like every other company. They are afraid. Think about the boxes Don Lemon checks. Gay African American. I mean, everybody and their mother, for whatever the reason, is scared to death of firing a gay African American. Now, if you threw woman in there, whoo, you got Joy Reid. I mean, honest to God. But it's ridiculous that we let people stay on the air when their performance is terrible, when their thoughts are awful and divisive, and frankly, they have no connection with their audience. But we do, and then when we do, and because we do, we get things like Don Lemon saying this about Nikki Haley and women in general. Actually, if you Google women in their prime, which people have, guess what? It talks about women into their 50s. It talks about their sexual prime, mental prime, that kind of thing. It talks about the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. So not only is this guy a passive-aggressive little batch, but he is giving you misinformation based on Google. All right. Our president's 80 years old. I mean, then, Pelosi's, 127 years old. How could you possibly sit there every day and listen to this idiot? I mean, Don Lemon could not be a bigger D-bag. He could not be. There's nothing redeemable about Don Lemon, and I don't give a damn. You call me whatever names you want to call me. I don't care. We're beyond that on this show. This just happened. Let's go back to Don Lemon. Don Lemon jumped on a CNN staff call to apologize for his sexist comments. And women are not in their prime, in their 40s. It didn't go over well. This is from TMZ, which is one of my favorites. I'm not going to lie to you. So this idiot, he said he didn't mean what he said. He was going to continue to fight discrimination against women. He said, some of my best friends are women. Oh, that's like the racist guy saying, hey, I got a black friend. I got one. Man, what a punk. He told some people on the call afterwards, we're told some people on the call said that Don Lemon was tone deaf, saying it looked like Don was giving himself kudos for owning his mistake. Look, he's a little batch. All you got to do is look. One of the things that I can do is, and this isn't great, but I can tell about people immediately. It's a gift. It is. I'm a basketball savant, and I can read people immediately, and all you got to do is 2 seconds to know he is a self-obsessed little batch. That's it. Don't get mad at me. Call me whatever names you want. I don't care, but that's what he is. I mean, all you got to do is watch. So there's no wonder that legitimate people, legitimate women are like, yeah, the guy's full of crap. My best friends are women. All right. My sister, my brother. Oh, okay. All right. So Lemon gets on a call. See, I go back to this, and this may not be interesting for people on our show, and there may be too much jumping around, but whatever. Why the attack on women? Why the attack on children? I go back to this all the time. Why the attack on women? Why do we feel the need that every single time we go about the business of marginalizing someone, it's always women and kids? Hey, thanks for watching Don't At Me with me, Dan Dakich. Make sure to like, subscribe, or click the notification bell for more of my beautiful face. Check out my full show to my right, or watch this other video. See ya.